recording's up, and I'll just be a minute or so while I'm looking for something to talk about.
Okay.
Probably want to hug that left side a little bit harder so that you're not out in the open.
Oh, someone's behind me. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Letting Sigma kind of walk around a little bit sometimes, so gotta watch that. Like after
Got the pigs.
yeah, so after you like pressure their supports back, you can probably just turn. You could have turned it on him so that he's not just running over your team.
There's the enemy.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
Sniper, don't get shot. Got one here.
Enemy here.
The payload moving. At the hard time.
My shield holds
Like a gentle rain. Silly human.
I'm on my game now.
Enemy here.
Ooh.
Kitsune, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of my bad.
Yeah, we just got the trap on you, so gotta watch for that, as well as probably push a little far forwards, right? I think you're a bit ahead of where your team was at.
Yeah, I was trying to give my team some space.
Well, once again, watch where your team's at, right? Because we're pushing in to a fight, and they're all respawning.
Siberia can't take much more. My ultimate is ready.
Good job recharging your shield. Shield management is looking a bit better.
Heads up.
Dodge this.
Over there.
Enemy spotted. Over there.
Marking the enemy.
Over here.
Over there.
So there, with when Juggernaut was out of position, you could have thought about potentially going and cutting him off.
It's go time. وريهم قوتك.
Yep, so...
I maybe should have went for shatter sooner, I think. That was my intention.
Yep,
And
I
then I
agree.
saw Sigma ult.
Yeah, because once Sigma ulted, then you kind of didn't have a lot of people to shatter, so I agree. Probably doing it sooner in the fight.
Come out and face me.
Strength from nature.
Target's locked. Open
Enemy
fire.
here.
Area's not.
Over there, Lord. Over there.
No one can hide.
Yeah.
Yikes. So I mean, I think you're doing, in comparison to last time we met, you're doing a lot better with managing aggression and managing shield. But at the same time, there's still some inefficiencies with it, where like sometimes you're just kind of holding up shield against spam damage, right? And we're just kind of standing there. So if you're just checking behind you to see if your team is with you, you know, consider ducking around the corner and should be when you're checking instead of just standing there with your shield. And then obviously gotta watch for the stuns when going for shatter.
You're powered up. Destroy them.
Face me if you dare!
I have the payload moving.
Area denied.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's like, you know.
I was
bit of-
meaning to try and shield that up, but of course.
Yep, so probably really only thing would be just bit of awareness, and then also it's, you know, it wasn't too big of your fault there. When you initially got Nano, maybe you could have gone a bit more aggro.
They are still gone. Watch out.
Existing.
Pushing the payload.
Is that all?
Right, fight's lost, so remember at that point it's just get out as quick, you know, die as quickly as possible so you can regroup with your team.
30 seconds remaining.
They kind of pushed back in without you, so that one wasn't really your fault.
I have eyes on a sniper.
Yeah, they're kind of right. Not doing anything this round. I mean, they're getting the peaks.
Nice touch. Just play very conservatively until you have your whole team.
وريهم قوتك. It's go time.
Very nice. You can play very. Remember, you can play very aggro. There's sometimes where we get up on top of the Sigma, and I think we're playing a bit too passive. Where you know there you're up 3 people and still shielding against him, sort of deal. So there's sometimes where maybe you can be if he's like right out in the open, you'd be charging him, swinging on him, putting just a bit more pressure while still watching for his rock.
Enemy here!
I'm with you.
60 seconds remaining.
We are falling apart.
That's it.
Disrupting.
Marking the enemy! Hammer down!
Dodge this.
Experience tranquility.
Very nice. You had a kind of a slow follow up on it because you shattered and then you kind of like checked behind you for a second or two, which I think probably didn't help too much. So following up quicker on your shatter, and then also while you're pushing in, you can kind of, if they're giving you space, ride Cardin so you have cover and shield when you're actually engaging.
Life protects life.
10 seconds remaining.
This ends now.
No one can hide from my sight.
Take cover. The trees.
It's go time.
I've got you in my
I should have waited maybe some few seconds after a grab. I could.
Yeah, after he grabbed you.
I could have.
Yeah, I think so. I think you maybe could have waited an extra second. Yep. It was a good attempt at the stall. Yep, I think one habit that I'm noticing is that you're checking behind you frequently, which is a really good thing, but you end up wasting a lot of resources when you do it, right? Because you do your shield spin turnaround, right, where you shield and then you look behind you with your shield, and then that just means that like you're kind of doing that before you engage, which you want to check behind you before you engage. That's good. But you're also expending like half your shield to do that. So instead of doing that, stand around the corner or behind payload or something and just do a 360, right? Just like, or a 180, right? Like just check behind you real quick, manually without the shield, and then you won't be wasting so much of your shield when you're trying to push.
I need to report volunteers for some kinetic firelight experiments. Can I count on you?
I'm not your best.
Because that's another problem we're running into sometimes, is we're like, is you trying to push on the Sigma and then you have like half
I
shield.
insist that you never tear
Yes.
your presence again.
I mean, I haven't been doing really much this game. I'm 2-7. That's really bad, of course. But my team is doing good picks. It's playing very good, and I don't get what am I doing that's wrong that's going this bad. I mean, they have the picks. I try to push after 2 picks, 3 picks even, but I get deleted every time I try to drop my shield. I die and then my team can push. I mean, we sort of have a double sniper. I mean, Soldier is not a sniper, but that's what I might call him. And we just get deleted every time.
Yeah, because what you're gonna find is once you get up to these ranks, it's not going to be massive major mistakes you're making all the time. It's going to be those small consistencies and efficiencies that are really gonna make the big difference. Where now that you're up at this, top percentage of players, every little thing counts, right? Like having your shield when you're pushing, like having your team when you're pushing, things like that. Knowing when to shield, when to swing, right? Like not getting hit by that rock. So it's all the small things that they'll add up a ton.
Stop that payload. Dodge this.
Nice.
Move out. Thanks. Disrupting. This ends now.
Very out in the open there, right? If we can try to be we only need to really contest right at the cap point, right? So if you're holding that corner kind of by that mega, then you might have a lot more cover to work with and be closer to your team so they can heal you than if you're wide right. Because, once again, it's not like you're constantly out of position, but it's going to be like that, you're out of position here, you're out of position there, and it really will lead to bigger mistakes.
It's go time.
Life protects life.
You can ult while they're trancing, right? Cancels the trance out.
Yeah, I was sort of waiting for my shot, but I guess that went sort of well.
Yep, because I think they used two, they at least used trance there, and that just completely cancels trance out.
I'm getting pushed around a bit too much, so that's why I'm going a bit Oriza. Oh, I went Zar immediately. Yikes.
Stand behind cart, right? Use your cover.
No.
Walk, go, go.
Cut off that Zarya, right? Instead of just, yep. Make sure you're holding that back right corner. Don't be out in the open, because you're gonna get shredded. Okay, now we're kind of pushing the back left corner if they start taking space here. Push with your Genji, right? If he's pushing, you're pushing too. But it looks like he's backing, right?
Did he cancel it?
I got no clue. I wonder if yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Or he got hacked
Yeah,
midway.
yeah, that's
I-
what I'm thinking.
Can you do that?
I have no clue. Potentially.
Yeah.
That sucks. Apparently Risk can get hacked out of it too. Alright, well, good
Nice game.
Yep, I think you were starting to do a bit better towards the end there. Don't worry about them, right? Just
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do have that game still.
Yep. And you're getting to you might be starting to get to the rank where you just climbed one whole rank, which means that you're getting to the point where you might start getting to your plateau, where you might touch your toes into a little bit out of your depth, right? These games where it's just gonna be a little bit too hard for you, right? And then you have to kind of now learn some new tricks and apply new things and keep improving if you want to keep climbing. So that's the don't get discouraged by it. Just new things to be looking for. Like there on that last point, especially I think you start to do good, especially when I was giving you the reminders. Where there are a lot of times where like you would be pushed too far out, you'd be out of cover, right? Not using cover at all. You'd be too far pushed forwards, or when your team's kind of backing up, or your teammates would be going in and you're delayed in pushing. Right, so things like that. So like cover usage, knowing when to push and when to back, right?
Yeah. That's I think the main part: when to push and when to back. I think I also undervalue the amount of health that I do have. I mean, the like for example that shatter where I hit the Sigma and the Kirko behind. I think I was a bit afraid of pushing in, since I thought that I was gonna get shredded.
Yeah,
But I mean, I do have about 600 health, so.
Yeah, and the thing is that when you shatter at 2 people, I think is what you got, maybe 3, is that now that's less people are actually shooting back, right?
Yeah.
And it was also only you pushing in like 3 extra meters.
Dodge this.
Oh, I hate playing against Doomfist.
There's one. Stop him. Stop looking around and move on your feet. The objective is now
Good job, good knife.
They're taking our point. Get him. Thanks.
Okay, great attack. Good job taking your space that you needed and not just sitting still.
Gutless sniper ahead. That protects you.
Oh.
All hail the queen.
Very nice.
By one. Come on.
Potentially could have axed Anna sooner. Because it got a little hairy when there were like 4 people, but it was still a good play.
This old screw still got it. Prepare yourself.
Enemy here.
Very nice.
Swings. You lose.
Oof, okay. So a little bit separated from your team. Request healing, right? So those 2 things probably could help. Up against that Doomfist, when he's blocking, I'd recommend chucking a knife into him, because this is gonna be a really easy knife to land, and it's not one knife. I don't believe is going to activate, fully charge his block. And you can just wait until after his block is done to pull him back.
Life protects life.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Yeah, I was waiting for that leap, trying to dodge it. Ah, that's fine. I guess we still have points.
Pick up your feet, you drongos! Time to go on a rampage!
Hey, good to see you.
Here, Gracie! Got one here!
Make
Shake the grit out of your knickers and move!
setting out the welcome mat.
To me, Gracie!
Meteor strike.
Oh, it's no sleep. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I think knife accuracy is something to look for here, as well as just in general cover usage. Just making sure you're using cover as you're pushing, as you're backing, as you're taking duels. And there's a lot of times where we're leaving cover, and that's taking us a lot of extra damage, and potentially even killing us too.
Stop mucking around and move!
Optimus.
Clear out!
Time for spring.
Get the sniper! Come on! Fight back! Pick up your feet, you drongos!
Thought you were a professional.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
It's go time for the reckoning! Knife! 狐のかぎ爪を解き放て Let the kitsune guide you!
You have no excuses now.
Meteor strike.
Move out!
Setting out the welcome mat.
Down goes another one.
I'm overloaded.
Let's go win this thing!
Very nice. I think in these fights, sometimes a little bit too focused on the Doomfist, right? We just are kind of following him around the whole time. So remember, if you have other options, or which you did, right? You did there at the in that last engagement, you did really good with swapping off the Doomfist to the Lucio and the Kiriko, and you know how how quickly you kind of melted them down. But during a lot of the other engagements, Doomfist was one of the characters we were just kind of following around, which just meant that we weren't really doing as much. So I'd put less of a focus on him unless he's low, out of position. He's the only thing you can shoot at. And then also you could see how I could see you used the solo ult on him, which you could see afterwards wasn't worth it because they immediately just got 3 other people, and you could have ulted all 3 of them. So just being a tad bit more patient with it and watching the respawns.
Yeah, I looked at I was holding that ult for too much, and I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just try.
The objective is now.
Thanks.
They're hungry for a fight. Let's give them one.
You're all good.
Devastation.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Very nice. Good job swapping your attention off the Doomfist, and until obviously he was the only thing left to shoot at.
Nice.
If you don't want them to just destroy it, you can potentially throw it around the corner and drag them around the corner with it.
Feel better?
Mhm.
Because otherwise they just kind of see it and destroy it if you just launch it out in the open.
Coming through.
Let the keep
Bring out the welcome mat. Meteor strike.
This ends now.
freeze.
Wow.
Cybernetic.
Is it the one we want?
I believe so.
No, okay, oh my god. Oh, that's me. Nice.
Good
Yeah, I
game.
wasn't done reloading.
Nice, very nice game.
Yeah, that went better, thankfully.
Yep, I think it part of the nature of their team comp meant that you weren't getting because I mean in the last game, right, you're working with very narrow corridors and they're pumping a ton of damage into you. Whereas in that game, they were kind of running like the dive, right? So you weren't really their main focus a lot of the time. They were kind of
Yes.
going for your back line. So I think you ended up getting punished a lot less for mistakes the mistakes that you are making, such as pushing when you shouldn't push and not using cover, being two big ones. So that's, why there's probably such a drastic difference between those two games is because they weren't really in a position to punish you for what you're bad at.
So, should I go for another gameplay, or do we have the time to review the first one?
I mean, we could do another one, or I mean, like that. If we went back over the first one, I mean, like we could reinforce it if you felt like you didn't get it all while we were all saying it in the moment, and obviously we can probably break down more things too.
I'd like to try that,
Try that.
actually. So, if that's okay with you.
Sure, that works. Feel free to send the code over.
Because, I was hearing what you were saying during the game, but I didn't catch it all. And also, I didn't really still understand what went that wrong, that I got destroyed like that, because we were getting the peaks and everything, so I'm not really sure what happened.
Okay, let me get this up. All right. Oh, sorry, lagging for a second here. All right, so
Ready for battle.
5.
let's take a look. So, initial push. It's looking pretty decent. Okay, so I like how you're hugging this kind of left side here. Since right here you obviously can't swing on them, it'd probably be a good idea if you're out of range to swing on them, and Sigma's like kind of right next to you, you might be able to kind of swing on Sigma a little bit, but it is also good that you're hugging this left side corner, where I think that's probably good for you. You end up pushing wide here, which ends up taking us a lot of extra damage, right? So we kind of leave that cover. We kind of leave hugging this to like go all over here, which just means that we're taking a lot more damage than we would if we, were hugging cover better. Okay, we get rocked. Gotta watch for that. Here, we could be potentially pinning. I mean, I think it's good that you're pinning at the brig. We end up canceling that. That could have potentially, we could have gotten the pin.
Yeah. Let's see that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's where we firstly gotta watch the nade. I think that's something else, is being intentional and watching for abilities, because I think you get rocked and slept, and or actually not too many sleeps, but you get rocked and naded a lot.
Yeah.
But notice here how you cut off those guys, and then actually I guess it's this next time around here where you push, you almost get the brig, and you push them back, and you go, oh, they're out of range now, but we wait to turn on the Sigma for a little bit too long, where we just kind of stood there for an extra little bit after he was out of range. Sigma just we clipped through him, unfortunately.
So I should have went for Sigma sooner.
Yeah, probably going for Sigma sooner, or pressing harder on the brig sooner, because back when you have full HP, right here, we're like backing up when brig's out of position, right? So imagine now, what if we just run at the brig, or we potentially try pinning after her while she's in that corner, and getting on her sooner. So being more aggressive on the brig probably would have been a good idea.
Yeah, the reason why I'm holding this shield and staying very close to these supports is because, I mean, in this case they do have a Sigma, but if it was any other tanks, I think it would have been melted quicker by my team. Like we have a Sojourn, Ana, Kiriko, Tracer. They should be able to take down a tank pretty soon. But now that I see this Tracer was kinda with me, she was backing out because she was low, and Sigma is not really an easily tank to be just destroyed by one DPS. So I can understand why they do need my help with Sigma.
Yeah. And the big thing there, I think, is just pressuring the brig. And you're saying behind you, yeah, I think in a lot of cases, like, your DPS are going to struggle just to, take down a tank by themselves, when if you turn around, they're going to have to take time to run back in, and in that time you can melt him with a pin or something like that. So they pressure.
I was trying to cut off his heals.
Here we were almost able to make it out. We were like right on the corner, and then we re-engage and push back in on 100 HP, which probably should.
Yeah, that's very risky. But I saw the 2 picks and I thought, okay, now it's now or never.
So I think he's fine. We kind of push, but then we just back. So, like, honestly, if you see that they're pushing and taking space, it's probably just worth riding the carbon to begin with. Don't feed them extra charge and things like that.
Yeah, one of the main problems here, I think, is that I never knew where was my Tracer at. So I didn't really know what to do. If I was gonna push or not, give her space, help her with something.
Yeah, which you don't really need to combo with your Tracer all too much, right? Because Tracer's kind of gonna do whatever. But you do need to see where your team's at, right? So here we go around not just one corner, but 2 corners ahead of where our teammates are, right?
Yeah, Sojourn dies.
Yeah, and even if Sojourn's alive, then it's still a bad play, because it's 1v4 1v4, and your supports can't see you from around that corner, which now they kind of can, but you're still way too far forwards. Alright, so checking before you're pushing. Here we do the thing where our whole team's dead and we can see that they're all respawning, right? And then we charge straight back in, which is pretty funny.
That's my bad. I when I get out of spawn, I sort of go on autopilot and just charge in because that's the main thing is get to point because the team is there, but no one's there actually.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I just go straight to point, even less support or DPS, everything.
Just to have it to be intentional with, right? To just make sure coming out of spawn and not just autopiloting. As you're taking space, shield hop in, right? You I think I've seen you shield hop, right? You know how to shield hop.
Yeah.
Shield hop in when you're taking space quickly, right? The only time you should be hard shielding in is if you or your teammates are like low and about to die, or you're blocking something intentionally, like an ability or an ultimate or something. Because otherwise, the longer you take to run in, the more damage your shield is taking. Right? Whereas if you just rotate it and get in there quicker, then you and your shield would be taking a lot less damage overall. So notice how here we do no shield and then shield, and we kind of just hold it, and then we drop it, we hold it. Well, so there we just shield hopping in as you're getting aggro. Here, let's see, Sigma. Gotta kind of like keep an eye on like kind of what's going on with the fight. I mean, it kind of stinks because your whole team's turning around for the Junkrat. If you have your teammates with you, you probably could have gone on the Sigma here and killed them. Like even just charged at him, but so here, this is what I'm saying. Look at where their team's at. It's if you push here, like their team's still regrouping. Here, what we should be doing is probably, which I think he cuts around through the top here. Right, so either just waiting there with another fire strike, or if you thought he was coming around this way, maybe trying to push up to him. But I don't think that you were really necessarily needed on the front line for that moment. Then he just gets out for frame. Okay, so notice when and how we're engaging. So we didn't check where our team was before we're going. Look at where Anna's at. Look at where Sojourn's at. Look at where these guys are. Like the only person who could really see anything is Widowmaker, right? So we're pushing in. On the flip side, they have 1, 2, 3. Almost 4 and 5 people who are in position to shoot at you, right? So we're going to be taking a lot of extra damage, right? A lot of the time here, both on attack and defense, I'd like to see you just playing around cart more as you're attacking.
Okay.
Honestly, like there will be times where you push and back, before, in front of and behind cart. But a lot of the time, when you're defending, you're gonna defend behind the cart, not in front of the cart. Which sometimes we're like, we would go and push up here. But then if your team has picks or you're staggering them, then you go and push, up past it. But and like for example, like if you're just poking at them while they're running in, we can poke, 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 and then we back up and we go poke, 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 and then we back up and we kind of hold firmly more at the corner behind the cart, right? And we'll see that more on defense. But when you're attacking, once again, just ride the cart in until you get to this corner, and then you have some more cover to work with as you're approaching. And then you can kind of try to, then you can play, instead of trying to run out into this open space, which what comp is, or what kind of character are you? That's right. That was a vague question.
That's I didn't get the question.
Yeah, sorry, it was a vague question. As Reinhardt, what play style do you prefer?
I'm a brawl tank, so I need to play behind corners mainly.
Yep, and so does everyone else. But the characteristics are fast but also close, right? But if we're But here, this is a wide open area. But what if we play it so that Sigma has to contest us on this corner, right? Well, then we can hold the corner while just swinging for free on the Sigma, right? And then if he doesn't contest the corner, then what can Cart do?
Just go straight ahead.
Just keep pushing. And then now if Sigma backs up and lets you keep pushing Cart, then you can have that mobile cover, and this wide open area isn't so wide anymore, right?
Yeah.
So here we just get a little bit, just go a little bit too quick, right? You see, same kind of same thing. We were backed up. You know, if we shatter like right now, that'd be a pretty big shatter.
It's go time.
We just kind of engaged at the wrong time. Which just meant that we didn't have resources that we needed. Okay, very, you know, minor stuff, but like, you know, look how we're running in, we're taking shield damage, and then we're like kind of holding shield and looking around, and we could just be using this time to recharge it, and then just kind of looking around normal, right? You don't need shield to do a 180 here. So you have shield when you're pushing. Okay, just kind of holding shield, and the question goes for who, right? Who are you holding a shield for? You're around the corner. You don't have any teammates with you yet, so why is shield you know, up for an extra 3 seconds, right? So it's that those small things that like just add up to shield not having any integrity. Once again, notice we're kind of starting to push, and we still have teammates kind of trickling in, which just becomes because both of your DPS are spam DPS, right? They're long ranged and slow paced. So, you know, they kept getting picks for you, but they're also not going to be pushing with you. So you just gotta watch that you're not running too far ahead of them. Use this time to recharge shield, right? Play behind cover, recharge the shield. But we try to rush a shatter, right? Yeah. It just...
Yeah, this is mostly a rush shot. I was just thinking to myself, I did this for too long, when I should just go for it.
Yep.
And I sort of missed it. I mean, I missed it.
Yep. Which you want to find the healthy balance of not holding on to it, but also not using it in bad timings and rushing it.
So was my idea of pushing that far just bad, or just not good with the team composition that I had?
Probably both. The team comp, your team comp probably accentuated the problem that you have, right?
Okay.
The fact that they're on their team comp, which is a spam, and then your team comp is on your team comp that's a spam. It all just makes it so that the plays you make matter a lot more, right? Where like it would still probably have been a mistake to push at those times, right, in those ways before, even if you're on a brawl comp, but it probably would just be it'd just be less obvious, and it'd be a little bit less, it would be less impactful.
Okay.
So here we get it. I mean, you kind of don't have teammates with you. Awareness would be noting that there's a brig behind you, right? But you also don't really have too many other teammates around you. I think brig even whip shot you from behind. Really good pin. Don't let me die. Here, I think your teammates are just dying by the time you got back.
Yeah, I only saw Zen and I thought, okay, my team is there.
Which I think you said you had 2 other teammates there too. So it wasn't a bad thought to repush. This is a good touch. Why are we shielding if we have a cart as cover, right? Good job stepping out of the sig flux.
Go time.
This is where we're like could have been. We block the rock and now we can just go swing. But we're black backing and shielding. Okay. This is a good job, just pushing card and slowly but surely use. Question would be, don't try to push in when shield's half. Give it a second, back up, recharge, shield, push in when shield's full, right? Because then you can push and back. Here we just, have half a shield, so maybe we are only able to push and not back. Okay, still kind of flashing it up. Nice shatter, but we get 2 people down. Probably could swing on that pretty quick, but we're shielding. Even if you just go for like the double fire strike, right? That'd still be pretty good, because then you'd get at least 1 kill there if we land the double fire strike.
Yeah, I think I shielded because I was afraid of something by Anna. I thought she was gonna try to sleep me, but she actually got naded, and it wasn't until I went for it. So maybe I should have been quicker.
So this is a hard fight, right? Because you get naded, gotta watch for the nade. Instead of
You could have
charging
waited
back
a bit.
yeah, or instead of charging back in, I would just wait here on the very edge, because remember, this is actually still in range. Oh, it just went away. But that's unfortunate. Just disappeared.
This ends now.
Honestly, I don't think that you did too much bad in that fight.
If you can outthink your opponent, it's easy to outfight them.
Do you think Reinhardt was a good pick in attack
Um,
against their comp?
Probably not. I would probably say just because your team was on the spam, it might have been better to go something that's a bit more spammy, right? So maybe something
Like mirror?
You can mirror with the Sig, or you could go Ramatra, because Ramatra is a bit of, a best of both worlds, right? You get the spam and the brawl and things like that in there.
Okay.
Let's skip to the end, because you can really see a lot of the cover and timings with it that kind of go wrong here. So here we saw Marissa. We are pushing up ahead of the cart, right? So remember, here we're not. You can poke, and then once they start pushing, that's when you back. But they're already past that poke range, right? So in here we should be holding probably around like this corner to the cart, right? So holding around this area. That way we can contest the cart while also having a lot of extra cover to work with. Notice how we're kind of backing up on that right side. I mean, this is okay now because you back up to a bit better positioning. This is good. We can test the whistle. Here we push, but we probably could push to cut off the Zarya just in case our teammates can't get her. But your teammates do get her, so that's good. Okay, so we're spamming them as they're pushing. This is good. This is good, and then we go right side, I think. Actually, we're holding current. Genji's pushing, so you should be pushing. That's good. But then Genji backs, and look at where we stay for a while. Right, you saw Genji back like 4 seconds ago, and he's all the way back there, right? So we probably needed to use that time to push backwards while you had 4 to 5. Okay, and then we go right side at some point. Oh, I guess it's not here. Once again, kind of push forward to here, that's fine. That gets cancelled.
Was that because I was in it?
Um,
Can we have just a second to look at that? Because I actually have no idea what happened there.
they,
Does Sombra cancel 3 with his ult? Healed?
maybe you
Or
got
does he
killed.
die? Yeah. Or he dies midway.
The tree is gone.
I think he just cancelled it.
Did he move out of range of it? Can you move out of range?
Life protects life.
Or
I
it
have
got
no idea.
shot as it was coming up? I'm not sure.
Or maybe he cancelled it
Yeah.
wrongly. I don't know. Okay, okay.
Okay, it was a good recon test here.
Yeah, I kept Oriza as I said I have my ult. But, you know, that didn't mean much.
Alright, so let's do a quick wrap-up review. Main points, right, with the few minutes we got left here. Ability usage across all your different characters, I think was generally pretty decent. I think Orisa sometimes would be a little bit... You know what, honestly, I think on Orisa they were fine. You know, there wasn't too much. Maybe just using it a bit too, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, flippantly. Jungle Queen abilities will work on that dagger, landing the dagger. Besides that, the others looked good. Reinhardt, we're gonna watch the shield. Big one. Don't spam it up. Don't, you know, shield hop to get in. Don't just do this all the time. Just move around the corner and then check and then push. Right, so just do the quick turnarounds. Things like that. Overall, I'd say Reinhardt's a bit higher. All the other characters, it was, you know, like a low to medium. Reinhardt was like a medium. Ult usage was like a medium. Right? Don't hold on to it, but also don't, you know, rush it and use it in poor situations. You gotta find that nice, healthy balance. Use it. That's why you usually use it like, you know, start a fight, not before. Don't use it like, you know, before the fight has even begun, or like the start. You want to use it like after the fight has helpfully begun. Is usually a good place for it. Overall, that's, you know, like I said, a medium-ish. Then comes your positioning. Cover usage is a big thing. Hold behind the cart on attack and the defense, generally speaking. Play those corners. Don't run into the open. There's a lot of it, right? Watch the no man's land, play your corners. Overall, that was like a higher end of a medium or so. You know, maybe even I might even put it at like lower end of medium high. And then finally, awareness/aggression. Pay attention to your surroundings, and then watch how that dictates your play style, right? Go make sure that you're pushing at the right times, backing at the right times. Watch your team. Watch where's your team at. Where's the enemy team at? What's everyone doing? There were a lot of times where we put on that attack alone. There were probably like 3 or 4 times that you pushed in without your team, right? So just gotta be watching for it, and that's overall probably like higher end of a medium. So put that all in order. I don't know. Those top 2 were pretty close together. Honestly, I'd say probably do the watch your teammates and make sure you're not pushing without them, because that's gonna be a big one. And it'll mean that you're wasting less resources, taking less damage, and it'll also work at your shield usage too, if you're not like constantly pushing in without your team, and your waiting to check for your team, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's number one, awareness/aggression. Number two, positioning. Three is probably for most characters ult usage, but for Reinhardt it's probably ability usage, and then every other character ability usage is number four. And that's about it. Any final questions?
No, that's all for me.
Okay, cool. I'll get you your recording in a minute.